highvolumemusicradio.com. The Business Knowledge Broker Hour.
Hey, yo, Guru, you ready?
Business, marketing, accounting, social media, resources, strategies, tips, events. The Business Knowledge Broker Hour.
It's just savage business.
Grants, funding, capital, life
insurance,
annuities, finances, tax tips, strategies, music, business, local spotlights, business highlights, leadership, entrepreneurship. The Business Knowledge Broker Hour. highvolumemusicradio.com.
You know what? Business Guru got somebody in the studio who's near and dear to her heart. This is my cousin, April Coleman, and you know, I can honestly say, being an entrepreneur and everything that's going on within the spaces and realms of what I had going on, sometimes you need to talk to another business owner. You know, I always tell people that when you support, you get support back, and when you give knowledge and you give it freely, it will always come back to you. So I had a few ideas that, you know, I'm gonna announce later in the month and some in November, but I had to call a lifeline. I know, right? The Business Guru need a lifeline. Yes, I did. I needed a lifeline this weekend. You know, I had to have, it's crazy because, you know, I'm going to bring up the mic of my cousin, April Coleman. April, how are you? All right. Look, we are here. We're in the studio, and I called a lifeline this weekend because sometimes you need that extra support. You need that push. You know, I get support from my team. I get support with the great organizations that I work with, and I get support from family. So, I pulled out a lifeline. Say, hey, I need someone to talk strategy with. I need some fun and some laughter in my life, and somebody that I can sit down and actually talk about this CEO life with. So why not reach to the person who has always had my back from day one, no matter what I had going on. So you know what? We're going to have us a quick 20-minute conversation on life and money.
Booyah.
You know, because this is the thing. A lot of times we forget, and I had to have that reminder lately as well, that I have to figure out how to get a better work-life blend.
Right.
You know, I know I talk about it on the show a lot, but I had to figure it out. I had to see for myself, like, okay, what do I do? How do I do that? So April said, you know what? I'm getting on the plane. I'm coming. I'm on my way. And so when I got that text message at 6 o'clock in the morning, say, all right, I'll be there in a few hours. It's like, whoa. Whoa. We have been talking about it, but you know how that go. You know, when you're working and you're traveling and you're moving through life and you're making big moves and you're making big business happen, sometimes you can't hang out with your friends all the time like you want. And people forget that. So, hey, I called out a lifeline. Hey, I need someone to think. I need some help because maybe some things that I need to maneuver and do. So me and April gonna talk CEO life and money, and I want her really to get on the mic and give you guys some tips on what she gave me in regards to trying to create a better work-life blend. Because sometimes even my team has said, okay, you got it together, but we need to get it together a little bit more. So for me, she was telling me how to get it together. So April, you're a CEO in your own right. Okay, look, we're going to free flow this thing. Let's talk about some things we talked about this weekend. Because she's sitting here looking at me like all astute and all of that. And I told you, I don't have one of those kind of radio shows.
Stop it. Stop it, Candace.
All right. So we was talking about business and money. And we were really honing in on a conversation where we talked about how most of the time people will forget that when you have a company or a nonprofit, you have a vision behind it. And people lose sight of that because of money. And we were talking about that. Like, it's cool to make your money, but you got to be okay with executing the vision. So what do you tell the people that's listening in on High Music Radio, April, about how to be okay with money, but you got to execute the vision?
You have to stay focused. That's the main thing. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So if you stay focused, make sure you keep your vision in line as money is coming, which, as always said, make the money, don't let the money make you. You got to turn it over to the Lord, most definitely. You're going to stay focused on your path with your plan, matters of the support or what type of system or strategy you might think that you need. And, you know, depending on your product or how you're going to market your product, that's always going to determine your profit. So profit-wise, you should never worry if you know that you're pushing your product correctly. So that's it. Staying focused on the vision.
You got to keep it, because a lot of times people they'll get that whole thing twisted. You know, they'll start charging people outrageous prices for something they can go get from someone else. And the thing about it is, a lot of people say, yeah, you can't put a price on a gift. True. But at the same time, you could be a little bit more reasonable as well. Like, don't price gouge.
No price gouging. I think that's the worst thing ever. It is. Some people jump into business for the wrong reasons. And that's where the price gouging comes in. Because they jump in. People think that all business owners are rich.
Yes.
They forget about the journey. And as you were saying earlier, you know, the time and the effort and the blood, sweat, tears, sleepless nights, they forget about all of that. And they automatically look at a business owner and they think, oh, they're rich. They have money, they have this, they have that. But they forget about the umbrella of things that it took that person or that business to build into what it is.
That's correct.
And so when they want to jump in, they jump in for the wrong reasons. They think, oh, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to have this nice car and I'm going to have this nice house and I'm going to this and I'm going to that. It all works in God's plan. When it's your turn, it's your turn. When it's your time, it's your time. What he has for you is just for you.
Oh!
So just the patience. The patience, most definitely. I know that's what I have done.
I have to say, I'm a pretty patient person when it comes to business and making the right money moves, because sometimes people will make a money move and it could be wrong contractually. You know what I mean? In the end, you got a big lump sum up front, but what is it going to cost you in the end? Like,
exactly.
And some people sell their soul for $1.
Yeah. Or jumping in debt to debt. And you never see profit. Okay,
now, to those people that are listening, explain jumping in debt to debt. I want you to explain that.
Okay, jumping in debt to debt is, prime example. You're going to start a business. And you have no business plan. As you explained, you must have.
You gotta have some kind of plan.
You have no vision. Okay, so that's gonna have you all over the place. And so the first thing that you think that you're gonna do to make everything okay is you go out and you try to fund this thing with some type of a huge loan, with no education, no business plan or anything. That's gonna have you at debt to debt. Because once the business is going, it doesn't matter what you have flowing in profit, you're still always going to be upside down because you owe. You owed going in. You owed going in. So, and at no way, sink or swim in the first 2 years. That's any business. First 2 years, I mean, if you can get over that, you're good. But when you hit debt to debt and you go with loans and you try to go on your own strategy, you're upside down. And then that's when the business folds. And when the business folds at that point, that's when people want to do exactly what we're giving the education on. Getting the education.
Yeah.
Staying focused.
Yeah.
Most definitely being humble.
Yeah. So they did that backwards. They did that thing backwards.
They do it all the way backwards.
Yeah.
They do it all the way backwards.
And sometimes I have to, the reason why I wanted to talk about, business and money is because a lot of times people will forget about the money management part. So like when you talk about the debt to debt and how people go out here and get these loans and they get this and that. And, we saw an influx of that in regards to, a lot of people going out there getting that SBA money, that we talked about. Like, I talked about it on the air. But sometimes you have to say, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, I might not need that. What do we have to do for that? How do we do that? Sometimes you got to go back to them soft skills that they taught us in middle school and high school and sometimes elementary. In regards to money, how to count money. I've ran across so many people that do not know how to break $1 in change because of all these, PayPals and Cash Apps. But when you get somebody $1, you're like, okay, well, can you break a dollar bill for me? And people like, okay, they be really trying to figure out the change. So some of that for me, that's scary. And I've had that happen to me at a pop-up shop. Food festivals, I've had that pop up, come up in my life. So I'm just kind of like, wait a minute. Sometimes we have to go back and think about money management. Because one thing is this, if you don't know what you're pricing your company, your product at, and then you're losing money, you don't know why.
Also, with the money management is learning how to flip your profit.
Ooh, say that again.
You have to learn how to flip your profit. It's not, the first $10,000 I'm going to make, okay, I'm going to get a new car. I'm going to get, the newest thing, the materialistic things that honestly don't matter because, it's God's plan. So you have to know with the money management, how to flip your profit. That's actually what keeps you from going into different loans and different business situations, different investments that you really have no business being involved in.
And I think for me, I like the fact that sometimes people don't realize, like, you can have the greatest intention by going out and getting these loans and getting into debt and thinking, okay, well, if I go get $25,000, I think that in 3 to 4 months, because I had someone tell me, you can make $25,000 in 3 months. They go out and get these loans that they can't afford. Thing about it is, you can go out there and get the house note, you could get the car note, you could get the expensive clothes, you can get the credit cards, but eventually somebody gonna knock on your door and say, okay, time to pay up.
Ante up.
Yep. So for me, I'm into taking profit. Pay yourself. Even sometimes I have to have, people on my team remind me, pay yourself. Pay yourself. You got bills too. You got to eat. I ain't get all 200 pounds out of this lusciousness not eating. You know what I mean? So you have to pay yourself, but you have to be smart about your money. You have to make sure that your business expenses are, keep your overhead low. Keep it low as you can. If you don't need $10,000 from a bank, don't take $10,000. Take 4 or 5. Take 3.
Exactly.
That's the thing. So, we sit here talking money in life because sometimes people will let that money get to their head. They let things get to their head. Money, fame, likes on Facebook, shares on Facebook. And, I have 50,000 followers. Yes, but why? Mm-hmm. Why? With no vision. I'd rather have 5 people that are the best supporters there are than to have 50,000 and I don't know what to say to them. I can't uplift them. I can't motivate them. Only thing I can do is post a pretty picture.
That's it.
Because I got a cute smile. I have a cute smile. I ain't finna be half naked now. I don't think nobody wants to see all of this. But I will say that, sometimes people are scared to use their brain. They want the quick fix. They want the easy money. They don't want to go ahead and do the work.
Nope.
And I think for me, a lot of times when I talk to new entrepreneurs, I have to tell them, you got to have a business plan. You got to have a strategy. You have to have real support, and you have to be okay with going out and getting knowledge. Some people don't want to get that knowledge. They don't want. I don't know. And I want you to tell the folks that are listening in on some of the family life blend. The blending, because it's not a balance, it's a blend. I ain't juggling nothing. I don't know how to juggle no plates, no cups. I don't know how to spin a basketball on one finger. So we got to blend work and life. So I have to say, my cousin came down here from Oklahoma, and she said, we're gonna get you together this weekend. You got a lot of new stuff coming your way. You have a lot of great opportunities coming your way, but people have to know how to get that done. So what are some of the great tips that you gave me in regards to getting me together and how to create that work-life blend?
Most definitely taking help when they're trying to give it instead of doing everything on your own, because that is so you. No, sometimes you do have to, as taking on a lot of things as you and I both have done, where we've set up a business and run many things under that one entity. Even me being a mother and now a grandmother, you have to most definitely balance it. But the whole thing of being a business owner is because you kind of leave that whole state of working for someone else and telling you what to do.
Yes.
So sometimes going into business, people forget, like, oh, I actually do work for myself. So this is on my time. It is exactly how I want it. It is exactly this way, it's that way. And so that comes in with structure. So taking everything in and kind of getting overwhelmed, you just have to kind of stop and make sure that everything is organized the way that it fits you.
Yeah.
Because I most definitely do. You want to also most definitely make sure that you're producing out what you need for your clients or customers.
Yes.
Because you want to keep that coming.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you have to make sure you make time for yourself personally.
I'm learning.
And that's one of the biggest things, and I think that's always what keeps me really grounded and good on business and flotation. Everybody's always like, oh my gosh, well, how do you do this and you do that? It's because I always make time for myself as much as possible.
I'm learning. The thing about it is, I have to say, sometimes when things happen in business, you do have to jump on them. And sometimes you have to say, okay, I know I wanted to do this, but I do have to change up my program in order to get this one thing in. So I know that I'm a person, I do a lot of adjustments. I adjust, and then I adjust some more, and then I adjust and I adjust and I adjust some more. But I love it. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's kind of hard to push that stop button on something that you love. It is. Don't get me wrong. I'm learning more about taking that time out because I don't want to get to burnout stage, because burnout stage is not fun. It makes you cranky, crabby, and then you yell and you get mad, and then you get mad at the wrong persons or wrong people in your life when you're really mad at yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know any other way about that. I think that's how I feel about it, and I'm getting better. So
It'll be fine. You will be fine.
I have to thank April for coming in, flying into Houston on my red alert, because I said, okay, I really need this. I really need this. Please come in and help me scratch out some things in my mind. Because sometimes we need that other person we need persons to bounce ideas off of. And I always tell people, if you're a business owner, you need some business owner friends. Because my team is great. I don't have people on my team, they're not yes people. They're not going to sit there and say that they agree with me. If my shirt is ugly that day, they're going to tell me, hey, Candace, that shirt is ugly. What were you thinking about today? They'll just tell me straight up. If an idea is bad, they'll tell me it's horrible. But then it's okay. This is how we can fix it. So I'm learning to carve out more time for myself and have more time for my friends outside of discussing business. Because sometimes...
Uplift and carry.
Uplift and carry.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
We have to stick together and uplift and carry one another.
I mean, round of applause for April. God, let's give it up to April. Let's give it up.
That's it.
But the thing about it is, she taught me this weekend that, I have to say, I went to a party. Candace don't party. I don't party. I will say this one. Now, the people out there in Radio Land gonna find this real funny. Candace don't know how to coordinate. I know how to coordinate clothes. I don't know how to do that kind of thing. That's why I got 2 stylists on my team right now. I said, can y'all come over and pick out my Monday through Friday outfits, please? These are the meetings I got to go to. These are the type of people I'm meeting with. I want to make sure that each meeting have a certain look. So, this party was easy. It was all white. I couldn't mess that up if I wanted to. But then somebody was like, well, yeah, you can if you have a synthetic blend against a linen, and if you're wearing cotton, and I'm like, why y'all do that like that? Why, but I have to say, I partied this weekend and I had a good time. I listened to some Zydeco.
It was great.
It was great.
It was great.
But this is the thing. When me and April party, we party a little bit differently than most people. We're going to party and we're going to network at the same exact time.
Same time.
We're going to party. We're going to make them business connections because, I don't know, we met about, 20 different
I have
business?
so many business cards
in
my bag.
That's right.
Yes. Conversations
was had over bowls of gumbo and jambalaya and homemade boudin and listening to Zydeco. We listened to some Steverito, y'all. And, we listened to some Tucker. Hey, we had a good time. So, and I ain't getting paid to endorse any of these performers. But if they want to endorse, they want to come over and write me a check for promotion, I'm cool with that too. Let's go. So
just like that.
And I have to tell people all the time, you need those reminders. You know, I have good people in my life that you know, pull me to the side and buy me tickets. You know, I've had Brandy, you know, cash at me and say, hey, go buy you something to eat. And he'd be like, why are you sending me money? So you remind yourself to eat. You know, I have great people on my team. And I have great people in my life. So I want to publicly tell my cousin, April Coleman, thank you for being that business head I needed to see this weekend, being that lifeline. You know, her and Sharita Coleman, they did it. We was just cute. We took cute pictures. I posted them on Facebook. If you're my friend, you can see them. If not, oh well. You'll see them later because I'm going to put them in a couple of magazines.
Because I love you.
But, you know, they showed me this weekend I can go out here and have fun and make business connections and still get all the business stuff I need to get done and still have time for me. You know, so I thank them for that because sometimes we need someone to tell us, stop. Stop the madness. Stop your own suffering.
Look,
stop second guessing. Stop second guessing. Oh, she trying. Oh, wait, hold on. Gonna sing that note because people don't know you sing.
No,
gonna sing that note.
I'll do that next time. We'll save that for them next time.
She don't want to sing for me.
That would be great.
That's okay. That's all right. Cause you know, I'm at a radio station, so I'm gonna play some music for somebody gonna sing to me. So, and I want to thank all the people that I partied with last night, business connectors that I, hung out with, promotional people that I hung out with, you know, record people, managers of artists. Thank y'all for, you know, having Candace Jones been your VIP. All right. So what I'm going to do is to send a shout out to everybody that's in my life, my team, my family, my parents, my siblings, my cousins, you know, everybody down the family tree, all of my friends, business coaches. I'm going to give y'all some love. So I'm going to play some Sister Sledge. We are family. All right, guys. Have our music radio. When we come back, Lakeisha Mosley of the LM Experience. Let's go.
HighVolumeMusicRadio.com. The business knowledge broker.
Hey, yo, Guru, you ready?
Business, marketing,